Hello, everybody. Take a seat, take a seat, take a seat. You can still keep talking though. Just start to mosey on in here. Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Let's go ahead and switch it to the next one so they can sign in. All right, and y'all, you'll see some QR codes on your desk. There's also a QR code up here. Feel free to scan that to sign in. Lexi created this, and it's going to be a really easy, super tech-friendly way to sign into all of the classes and team meetings. So either scan up here or scan on the QR codes on your table. So there's no reason for you not to sign in. All right. And let's share the love. Tell me some gratitude. Tell me a win. Tell me a bucket fill. Josh.
I've had a ton of people texting me from both KW Utah and KW Salt Lake City, just celebrating some of the little wins that they've been having as they've reconnected with their databases. And yesterday, Shad, you know, as he's now calling a sphere of influence instead of just commercial people, he got a lead for a fund through his SOI that has 900 million that they're spending here in Salt Lake in commercial, looking for industrial. So it's just fun to have. Keep the wins coming to me, you guys who I'm doing one-to-ones with. I love seeing and hearing those.
Yeah, I love that. I want to echo that. Mark Robinette, I'm grateful for him. We've been coaching, and he got both of his listings under contract. So super happy for him. And y'all, we just love hearing y'all celebrate, and we want to celebrate you more than you want to celebrate yourself. So keep on telling us, and we're going to shout it from the rooftop. Nick?
I need to thank for giving me the little mill spinners for my open house signs. I normally spend $15 a week on open house balloons. So we're going to try these this weekend and see how we do. But yeah, dollar at dollar store, was it, John? Yeah, I loved it. Wonderfully surprised me with that treat. And then my win for the week was, I was telling Josh, I went golfing with the league yesterday, and the phone rang twice from Sphere of Influence people saying, hey, we're ready, please come out. So I set 2 appointments and shot a 46, so I was happy.
Love it.
Shout out to
So last week, I think Josh, he wasn't here, so I want to thank him again for coaching me and helping me get through some stuff, and it's been great. And we all know that we have the best broker in the board of realtors. So Dave Frederickson is, without a doubt, one of the best human beings alive, let alone the best broker. The stuff he did for me in the last week, and let alone what he does for all of us on a daily basis. So make sure that he knows that.
Love it.
I'd like to thank Marita, Rick, and Lee for holding my hands through this first contract or listing, especially Marita. I don't know if I would have been able to even get the contract if it wasn't for her. So thank you.
I want to thank Linda. I used your tiered listing commission system, and I got a full 3 on 3% listing, and thank you very much.
I just want to express some gratitude for the amount of freedom that we have as real estate agents, able to like negotiate a deal from a beach.
I was out of town last week, and Aaron Ponce helped me show a property. So thank you, Aaron, who's a Spanish-speaking client. He does speak Spanish, so if you need some help that way, he's the guy to go to. So one of the guys. There's a few of us in the office. So.
Love it.
Let me give another shout out.
All right. Y'all, we have so much stuff to get through today, but what are our bite-sized wins? Who is using AI at a high level? Yeah, give me a win.
Okay, so I have reluctantly been coming along with the AI stuff. And last week I needed an email that Rick had sent to me with names of people to add to command, and I could not find it. So I went, I'm testing out the Zero Inbox by Superhuman email program, which has a lot of AI built into it. And I said, find an email from Rick to Marita that has names of people who need to be added to command. And it came back. Here's an email that I found from May 25th from Rick to Marita that has names of people who need to be. And it was just like, saved me so much. Well, after I spent the time trying to find it manually. Next time I'll go there first. So
Love it.
We've been working on some systems within our business, specifically on the Just Mats, either buyer or seller leads. And I had put a prompt into ChatGPT asking for a follow-up system that used Phil Jones frameworks and builds rapport overall and did not seem salesy. And it spit out the most baller 10 touch system I've ever seen. So awesome.
I'll go as I walk this over. ChatGPT to the so that saved me a lot of time just digging into that data.
Mine's kind of a two-part. I want to thank Emily for sharing a template that we used to use on the team for multiple offer situations, which I had over the weekend. And then rather than go back to her for the backup letter, because that wasn't in there, I tried it in AI and it actually worked out really well. Got a really nice letter kind of letting people know we're looking for backup, that they went with another offer.
One thing that us, the staff, has been thinking about doing is a whole marketing campaign for all the agents, and I've been using several AIs to work with that. And while the process to get it all automated is making me want to rip my hair out, the AI is making it so much easier, and I hope this will be ready in a couple weeks to come for you guys to reap the benefits of.
Surprise. We are working on doing something where we can post for you, and at least twice a week where we're posting content on your social media pages. So we've been working on that. So yes, surprise.
A totally different approach to AI. I was showing a house to a client, and she started to show me how she was using it to take photos and change wall colors, etc. What should I do with this space? What could I do with this space? So we actually put a hole in the wall and figured out what it would look like, because we put two rooms together, and she's like, oh, that could look. So that was really cool.
I uploaded my credit card statements to ChatGPT and said, show me where I can save money. And this is where I could save money. So I didn't get one yesterday, and I decided I needed to get a coffee today, but I'm going to keep working on that because ChatGPT told me to. All right. Any other bite-sized wins? Perfect. All right, we have so many guests and visitors. So who wants to introduce themselves first? Yeah, and then hold it up close to your mouth for the people online.
I'm Jacob Shaw. I'm trip to see the brokers and everything from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Happy to be here.
Love it.
My name is Lincoln.
Sweet.
My name is Lincoln. I'm a general contractor here in Salt Lake City. Over here recommended that I come over and try to get my realtor's license and join this group. And so far, I've been really enjoying it and really enjoying what I've been learning. So it's lovely to be here. Thank you.
Okay, so I have been in here before, but I do have some updates. I'm with Nook and Cranny. I'm Kaylee, the new marketing representative of Salt Lake City. As you know, Athena used to be out here, and I have a big shoe to fill with her because she's absolutely amazing. But I don't know if you guys are aware, but we are doing solar inspections now. And we also run with 3 different groups. It's inspections, mold, and plumbing. We do it all in one. And what's really cool that a lot of not do is with our plumbing and our mold, we offer financing for your clients. And we can also offer it where they pay at closing as well. But yeah, just please come by, get a card, and we can go from there.
Okay, so my name is Christine. I know Christopher McGee. He told me I need to come over from Windermere, so I'm here to check it out.
My name is Vishal. I have 10 years experience in real estate in UAE, going to be realtor in US, and gonna work with all of you beautiful guys soon.
Woo. All right. And I don't think you got to hear all of the compliments that you got during our gratitude, but it was high praise, my friend. And now we have the best broker.
You ever get that song that plays in your head and just won't stop? I've got one that's been going for a couple of weeks now, so I'm trying to clear my head of the song. So I'm gonna go deep dive rabbit hole.
What?
This weekend, what you expected.
That went over my head. Gotta finish it.
Perfect. That's my point is here, and that's the truth. A lot of people were using this weekend to kind of regroup, recharge their batteries. And came in yesterday, and somebody I consider a good friend was saying, okay. And I think he's going to recharge weekend. That's fine. But the world is heavy. All the stuff that's going on in Texas and politically and worldwide and all that kind of stuff. If you concentrate on that stuff, man, it sucks the life out of you, doesn't it? And the recharging the batteries part of things is kind of what we need to do so we can refocus on what it is we're supposed to be doing, which is music that keeps playing in my head. Are you guys doing what you're supposed to be doing? Eulogy? Yeah.
I have.
I'm a depressing person. I haven't, but what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to? What do you want people to say? Geez, Dave, we take that same thing and put professional. What do you want people to think of you as a real estate professional? And are you currently acting that part? To that music that I was playing a couple of weeks ago. Are you showing up on time? Are you dressed the way they would expect you to be dressed? Are you presenting the message that you want to present in a way that they would receive it the way you want them to? Or are you just spouting big talk? And who's on your team? And how much are they representing what it is? They're all on the team. I know how you're going to represent me. Well, I'm good with that. Who's your team? And I'm not talking partnership. Stagers and people that are going to be earmarked in the eyes of that client. And are you vetting them and that they bought into what it is you're trying to do? I had a conversation and back to this class. I had this interaction with one of our less than virtual clients. And he basically said to me, I wanted a professional. He sent his stager over. His stager showed up in a halter top and Daisy Duke shorts. Made my wife feel uncomfortable. And I realized at that point in time, I wasn't dealing with a professional. Okay. Are you vetting the people that you put in contact with people? I got some really good lender friends. Some of them don't want to even look at a number until it's all over. And I'm totally confident that you've got those personality types. They want to see every single number. Are they presenting it the way that that client would want to receive it? Give you the professional mark that you're working on. So who are you inviting into your? When I was talking, the previous life, I'm doing sales and I'm doing a lot of stuff like that. Got into real estate and I took a class called PSA. And PSA is DISC, but we call it non-manipulative selling. Creating an environment where people can buy because people like to buy. Don't like to be sold. Most salespeople try to sell them things. The more I tell, the less I sell, and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to create an environment where people were receptive to hearing something from which they could make a decision on. And creating that environment was DESA or DISC, non-manipulative selling. Okay. And so whenever I see a DISC class, especially one from Lee, I'll try to pop in as much as I can, but I have to pop in and pop out. It's very hard. It's all about me. I will. But most of what I heard when I came into Lee's class was how to deal with these people when you're in a sales or a presentation mode. But after I brought that up a couple of weeks ago, I had a lot of you come and say, well, yeah, that's great when you get into the sales mode, but how do you identify them before? Because you only get one chance to make a first impression, right? Okay, so let's go to an open house real quick. You guys know who, let me just real quick. This is not a lead class. This is a down and dirty Dave class. But this, dominant drivers, equal influential, satisfied people, and analytical, secure, or cautious type people. Well, basic personality traits, right? You deal with someone's dominant trait. And so you need to find out when they're in their comfort zone, what their dominant trait is. Okay, so how do you identify, for example, a dominant driver? Each one just a bit. Okay, you're in an open house. You look out the window, you see somebody pulling the driver. Dominant driver, how he's going to approach it. Because I seriously, you got one chance to make a first impression, right? A dominant driver wants your respect, right? He wants to be the boss. He wants to be the one that is controlling everything. He wants to, and he walks through the front door and you go, hold on a second. Hey, I'll be right with you. Where's your first impression? From that point on, guys, you're making up. So, how do you look at a dominant driver when you're looking at it? Tell me. What's he gonna drive? What? Start the car, probably clean. Talk to the house. You get out of the car, close the door, and he's heading to the door. Right? Meeting at the door, mirror image. Hi, I'm Dave. Welcome to the open house. Thanks for stopping by. You lead, I'll follow up. Let him take control, right? Eagle influential. How's he gonna drive up? The convertible top is down. He's going to get out of the car. He's going to let the neighbors see who they might be lucky enough to have move in. Right? And he's going to come up. You say, hi, you obviously know what you're looking for. Stroke. Right? Create that environment. How about satisfied amiable? What are they going to be driving? Minivan with all the kids. Come on. Get on in there. Okay. First of all, they're not going to come to your open house because they're an enemy. If you are still old school, put flyers in the box. They're the ones that take all the flyers from the box rather than come into the house and have to be subjected to you. Okay? So the satisfied amiable is like, hey, come on in. Let's kids play in the backyard. What are we looking for? You talk in terms of we's and us's because it's easier for them to make a decision. How about analytical secure? What are they driving? Prius? Got the flip board. Tree. On a front door. Okay, so guys, once again, in your mind, an idea on how to create that first impression that's going to have all the impact on the rest of your transaction. Or at the end of the game, when I'm being asked to release a listing, is it somewhat obvious that you've got a dominant driver that was not in control, and when he's not in control, a backup mode for dominant drivers become a dictator, and I want out of my listing. Satisfied amiable? What do they do when they're scared? Run. I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to go talk to my parents. I'm going to go whatever, but I'm getting Eagle influential. What do? Die on the disc. They attack. Okay. If you've ever had it from here, yeah, kind of cautious, prove it. Okay. If you want to read a fun book, it's called Bulls, Owls, Lions, and Tigers. And it's all about disc in real estate, analyzing the houses. So if you have, for example, a dominant driver, might be a doctor, might be an attorney, whatever. It goes into the same, these type of people usually live in more traditional type of houses, dark woods. Look at Harvard Yale area. A lot of those people are not down in that area. You writing an advertisement or something on your MLS that does not attract the right type of people are going to be filling your buckets with the wrong kind of people. You might get a whole bunch of buckets filled with people who don't want to buy. But again, a lot of times you're attracting the wrong people for the wrong stuff caused by us, just not taking a step back. And what is my purpose here? Is my purpose to appease the seller by an open house? Or is my purpose to attract somebody that might buy this house and then close them in a way that will get to the finish? Think about it.
I love it. All right, y'all, board dues are due. Scan this, pay, continue being licensed. That's it. All right, so our cultural icon from last week is not here, and funny enough, the recipient is not here. So I'm just gonna read this little snippet, and then we can celebrate it, and I'll tell you what my favorite one is. So I would like to pass this award to him because I chose trust and honesty last week, and he is both. I trust him with personal problems and I love his honesty. He truly deserves this award because his great vibe and positivity goes a long way. So our cultural icon of the week is Justin. So woo! If you see him, his cubicle is right over there. Just say, "Hey, icon, what's up?" So my favorite one, especially right now, is the commitment in all things. I am 1 week away from being done with my 75 hard. So that I think takes commitment and discipline in of itself. For those that don't know what 75 hard is, it's 75 days of working out twice a day for 45 minutes. One has to be outside, drinking a gallon of water, reading a business book or a self-help book every day, 10 pages, taking a progress picture every day, and following a diet of sorts. So whenever we have Jersey Mike's here, I have to take the bread off, which is really not fun for me. But that is my thing. And honestly, just it feels good to have a commitment and have a discipline in my eyes. So I like that one. And I am committed to all of you as well. Thank you. I'm going to hold up a sign that says like, "All now." Perfect. All right. And we have Kimber, and y'all pay attention. She's going to speak real close to the microphone again, but pay attention because July 10th, something really big is happening with Instagram. Yeah.
The first not so big thing on my mind is that for Prime Day, I do need to buy a tripod because right now this phone is propped up with a swig cup. Second thing, actually the reason why I'm here to talk to you today, is Instagram is doing a huge update on July 10th. This is probably one of the biggest updates for social media, specifically for Instagram, since Instagram has been around. What is changing is specifically this. Oh, I'm going to leave that in there because I want you guys to remember that it wasn't a tripod, but it was propped up by a swig cup. What you need to know is as of the 10th, now all of business pages, creator pages, public pages, and any accounts over 18, meaning the creator is over 18, now qualifies for basically Instagram SEO, where all of your content can be pushed to search engines like Google and Bing so that your content is searchable, not just by the name, right? So if you search Kimber Walton right now, Instagram pulls up as my account. Now, what I am posting is what is going to be searchable. Now more than ever, you having in your bio the area you serve as a real estate agent and your content and what you talk about is now going to be searchable. When you do a post that's educational, that's really kind of my pet peeve of the, hey, like it's time to change your air filters post. Very generic, very advertisement looking. Well, unless someone's searching, I guess that they need to change their air filter, then they're not going to find your account. However, you doing what you probably have talked about doing, or maybe I've kind of dipped your toe in doing, if you are posting hyperlocal content so that things like your city, what you do, your real estate agent, and even the things around you, what's going on in your community, now quickly captures you, or you are captured by that person. So this is basically what it'll look like. Allow public photos and videos to appear in your search engine results. This is in your privacy setting. This update is when you decide to change to either a business or a creator account. You'll have it changed by the end of the week. It is a huge benefit for you to do that as an agent. Let me know if you have any questions. We have a newsletter. We share tips like this. We share it bi-weekly. Subscribe in the link in our bio.
All right. So who understands that? Okay. So y'all, the videos that you're doing with Josh with the numbers that matter, that's going to be insane because that's going to start popping up on search engines. That's going to start popping up on Google when people look at that. They're going to see your Instagram profile talking about the numbers that matter. Steve, I'm going to call you out right now, but Steve just showed me his amazing Instagram and how he tries Cache Valley and all these different restaurants. That is hyper local, and that's going to start popping up on Google. So again, like, be the economist of choice and also be an influencer. Talk about the communities, talk about what's going on in Mill Creek, talk about the farmers markets, everything, because that's going to then show up on Google, and that's going to get unmets into your new database and into your following. Lexi seems like she does. There you go. What's a Finsta? I know what one is, but I don't think a lot of people in this room know what a Finsta is. You said it. Or like your close friends, how you can post a close friends on your story. It's like a whole close friends page. My brother has one, and he posts some really silly videos of him dancing to fish on there. So yeah, bouncing around the room there. And y'all, Kimber is actually going to be here tomorrow. So you can also ask her all of these questions because she is super tech savvy. She is our regional tech trainer, and she's already teaching our MREA Do It With You series on online leads.
Just kind of a side note, you do need a Facebook business page to post paid ads through command. So do that as homework if you want to attend that class.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you do need a Facebook business page to do ads through command. Classes are going to be based on, so make sure you have that page as that homework. We can
No.
to post on command, you have to link it to your Facebook. So they post.
Perfect. All right. And so we have the online lead series. We have our Google Business Mastermind on July 10th from 12 to 1. Also on July 10th is our Luxury Summit Syndicate. We have Steve Epstein coming in from Santa Barbara, and that is going to be at Ocker, the restaurant downtown. So super excited about that. And you can attend that 9:30 to 11:30 or so, and then head out and come over to the Google Business Mastermind. Then we also have how to run Facebook ads through command on July 11th, 12 to 1:30. So lots of things coming up. Yeah. And then we have our list to last presented by Jason Abrams and Gary Keller. We're doing a watch party here on July 23rd from 1 to 4 p.m. Central Time. So that's 12 to 3 Mountain Standard Time. I like Central because I'm from Nashville, but for those that aren't from Nashville, so the whole room wanted to convert that for you. And then y'all, on Pioneer Day, we are just welcoming y'all. I'm going to head out there and set up a tent and some fun games and whatnot. And I'm gonna borrow someone's truck to bring kayaks as well. So if you have a truck, let me know. But I'm gonna get there, and then anyone is welcome. Bring your kids, bring your family, bring your partners. Anyone is welcome. Just wear life jackets because we are not liable for any of that. All right, and then we have our events committee coming up. Woo. How dapper.
To be to golf if you're going to golf, if you're part of the committee. However, you do have to attend a certain amount of committee meetings. You can't just like show up last week or on here to help. We would love to help, but you don't. So I sent out an email about a week ago that went over all the different details. I'll resend it out later today so you can see that in your email again. If you have any financial questions, please talk to Audrey and Liza. Samantha and I have zero to do with the money. So please do not come to us because we'll just send you right to them. If you have any questions about sponsors, raffle prizes, anyone that you know that wants to participate or anything you would like to contribute, please talk to Samantha and I. Anyone have any questions? So this is the sign up sheet right here. We're also going to print one and have it at the front desk. From what I've heard, some people like to tangibly write their name on a piece of paper. So we're going to put a QR code and a piece of paper at the front desk. So whether you're better with doing the QR code, doing it digitally, or writing on a piece of paper, we'll have two different options there for you. We're going to have that ready for you later today. And then in the slideshows that go around on all the TVs throughout, I don't know if you guys ever look at those, but it has the events calendar, it has this in there. So you'll see the QR code there as well. So there's different options. Once you go on there, it gives you choices. It'll tell you kind of what's happening. It gives you choices like if you want to just come and play, if you want to join the committee, if you want to sponsor a hole, if you want to sponsor the food or the bar. You can go right on there
I am going to add a tab that's going to say how many or who's playing. So we know if you're doing like a foursome, you can add the names of people on your foursome. That way we know that is your group in your cart, because if you join and you're just a one person or a duo, we will combine you into a foursome when we get close to the event, because we want to try to ideally have all the carts full. Any other questions? Okay, well, that's all. Have a great day.
Thank you. And we have our one and only Josh Stern coming up here with the market talk, giving us all the numbers that matter.
Well, all I can say is I hope you guys read this stuff like every week. You know, Tuesdays are good days to download it, keep it on your computer, save it for 2 or 3 months down the road. It ends up being really useful information. I think I mentioned last time, I've been doing it in this format since June of 2022. Coincidentally, that's when housing went into a recession. And so we found some fun ways to actually look at the numbers, which is kind of at the top of that. So I provide all the actual numbers. I give you a little bit of commentary below the actual numbers, but then it's sometimes easiest to just have Claude spit out something that's a little bit more visual, because I am not entirely dissimilar to you guys as a real estate agent. I don't look at all the little details. Any of you guys? Right. So, except Audrey raised her hand. She actually looked at the details. So let's scroll down, because just market summary on this. If we kind of think about what's going on, do we expect active listing inventory to continue to climb? No, why not? Great. Yeah, because we're kind of past that peak level of inventory where you've got a lot of people that are coming onto the market. And so as a result, you know, our active inventory should begin to decline. But along with that, the amount of buyers that are out there buying are also going to begin to decline. Now, just because we hit the July 4th holiday doesn't mean that things just fall straight off the cliff in terms of people listing homes or people buying homes or putting things under contract. That's not the case. We just go over the other side of the bell curve. And so I suspect if we look at our data that we're going to start to see week over week declines in active listings, week over week declines in total listing inventory. But along with that, we'll probably start to see week over week declines in both solds and pendings, but also price adjustments. And so you have to realize that the decline in price adjustment might very likely be due to the fact that you just have fewer listings that are on the market week over week. And so I'll be calculating as a percentage of active listings how many listings underwent a price adjustment. So you have a percentage. The norm so far for the last 3 months that I've been tracking it that way has been about 12%, which means about 12% of all active listings are experiencing a price reduction. Last week, it was 9.2% of the active listings. Any idea why only 9.2% of active listings adjust their price last week? Holiday. Do you see how holidays, you know, can tend to interrupt natural commerce in the real estate market? So one of the things I wanted to do, if we scroll down through market summary, by the way, happy Independence Day, right? You know, since the birth of the U.S., life expectancy has increased 30 years. Infant mortality rate has gone down below 1%. So there's a lot of things to celebrate, you know. So I just like to keep things in perspective. I wanted to start a little bit with news around canceled contracts. A lot of national news because of Redfin. I have no idea where Redfin pulls their data. I have no clue about this, but Redfin had, you know, a lot of the doomers like to follow Redfin stuff for whatever reason. But there's been a lot of news over the last 2 or 3 weeks around the elevated amount of canceled contracts. Has anybody heard about any of this canceled contract stuff, or am I the only guy that actually pays attention? Okay, that's fine. So if we scroll down a little bit, we're going to look at a little graph that says back to market listings. It's a little difficult to read up there, but this is actually our own Utah failed sales, if you will, canceled contracts. And we are basically completely in line or on the low side of canceled contracts for the last, comparing ourselves for the last, let's see, 4 years now. So there isn't really any great difference. We don't have a super high cancellation rate right now in Utah, and I just figured it'd be worth kind of pointing that out to you in the event that any of your buyers or sellers talk about high levels of cancellation, and something must be, the boogeyman certainly must be behind the iron curtain doing something weird to all of us. But that's not true. So one of the things I wanted the theme for the last couple of weeks is, with these active listings, you guys have to really pay attention about getting them sold, because I'd shown a graph that's on the market stats. This is why you guys should just always download this and keep it on your computer, because I think it was 2 weeks ago, I was showing you the original list to sale price curve as we go through year over year, right? And as we come through our peak season, automatically your list to sale price begins to decline. So if we're going to do our sellers a favor, especially as active inventory is now at 2015 levels, which was demonstrated in 3 weeks ago market stats, another good reason to hold on to these things, that we're going to see sellers either pulling off the market, or us real estate agents doing a very good job in educating our sellers to stay in front of the curve about getting their property sold and getting them the most amount of money. If we're going to do that, there are different ways to do it. Part of it's servicing. Part of it is data oriented, but part of this, I had a conversation with somebody in here, I think it was Lee actually, about this, and I wanted to do the math on this. So let's scroll down a little bit more, because you guys understand what the big challenge for buyers right now, buyers in the market. By the way, when Kimber comes in tomorrow to do her online lead gen class, we're going to teach you how to create an ad around this particular concept that are going to get a lot of people to raise their hand. Buyers, the number one challenge that buyers have right now is not inventory, is it? What's the number one challenge that they have? Payments, right? Affordability is the big challenge, right? We're not going to see prices come down. If they do come down, it'll be, a very small fraction of a percent that they come down, right? Because sellers really don't, if the sellers don't need to sell, they're not going to sell. And that's just a fact. So what do we have to do with buyers? We have to come up with creative solutions that can help them to afford the property that they want. The number one thing that's going to help with that, generally speaking, is the monthly payment. So if a seller, for instance, in this scenario, we've got, can I just go back up a little bit on this? Sorry, this is looking a little different than mine. Right there. All right. So if a seller's selling a home for $550,000 and they're willing to, decrease their price or give a concession of 2.5%, I wanted to kind of flesh out for you guys what that could potentially mean for a buyer, right? Because the seller would have two options. They could just provide a concession at a full price of $550,000, or perhaps they could just take 2.5% off their price. Which one would benefit a buyer? Ultimately is up to a buyer, but I wanted to talk to you in terms of affordability, because that's the number one driver for buyers right now is, can I afford the payment? And this is going to show you the difference between taking it off the price versus taking that same amount and applying it to what's called a permanent rate buy down. So if a seller's selling their home for $550,000, they're motivated, they're willing to drop the price for 2.5%. That's $13,750 reduction from the asking price. They'd end up selling their home for $536,250. The buyer saves $13,750 on the upfront costs of their home, and the principal and interest payment for this scenario, based off a 6.75% interest rate, which is basically today's 30-year interest rate, then their principal and interest payment would be $3,478. All right. Now, if the seller was willing to take that same amount of money, that same $13,750, and to permanently buy down the interest rate for the buyer from the 6.75%, the buyers are now going to pay $550,000 versus the $536, right? They're going to pay the full price. The seller now offers that 2.5% concession to get the permanent rate buy down. And the buyer's new rate, which I'll share with you the calculation on how you do that, would be about 5.97%. Fixed, permanent. That's it, permanent. So we don't have to worry about what's going to happen, with interest rates, because I don't think interest rates are coming down anytime real soon. The buyer's payment now would be $3,200 and let's call it $87. So it's an average savings of $191 a month that a buyer would save by paying a higher price for the property, but then getting the seller to contribute that 2.5% toward that buy down. All right. So the other way you could do this is just have the seller, instead of doing a price adjustment,
offer a permanent rate buy down, explaining some of the details in, you know, an MLS description of how that can benefit, you know, a buyer. This is why we work with Luminary. They have the ability to do this, okay? So if we scroll down a little bit, you've got the calculation rate breakdown. So here's how it basically goes. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, it's a 5.5% monthly savings for the buyer to do it the way, paying full price with the permanent rate buy down versus just getting the discount on the house. So they're now saving 5.5% monthly. All right. So the cost to buy down per point, you know, so 1% of 440,000. This is just your. You can plug any number in there. It's $4,400 per point. So if you had $13,750, you divide that by 4,400, you can buy down 3 1/8 worth of points for the interest rate for the buyer. So the total rate reduction would go from, it's about 0.78% in this scenario. Now you can buy it down more than that. I was just giving you an example of how do we get it below 6% and cause it to be fixed. So the original rate was 6.75%. But after that seller concession, the new rate is 5.97%. This applies across most of the lending world, people that know how to do rate buy downs like Luminary. The 30-year interest savings, this is something that maybe you hadn't looked at. So the interest rate paid over, the interest paid over the life of a loan at the 6.75% was $716,000, okay, over the life of the loan, which is 30 years, assuming they never refinanced, okay? But the interest paid over the life of a loan, that same loan at 5.97% was $633,000. So there's an additional savings there at the end of close to $83,000 that benefits a buyer. So the buyer saves 5.5% in cost per month. The buyer also has the assurity that they've got a permanent rate, not like a 3-2-1 or a 2-1 buy down. And additionally, they save long-term on that interest over time. So I thought it would be worth kind of explaining this because the ads that we're going to put together with you guys, that Kimber's going to run with you guys, are going to be very much based around affordability. All right. So that way you can get people to raise their hand through your Facebooks or your Instas and, you know, and inquire. They've created a book for us. Luminary's created a book for us based upon this type of information that when the buyers raise their hand for the ad, that's what they're going to receive on your behalf. So we're going to try to put this together for you in a way that you guys can really just plug and play. And remember, Friday staff, Makai will be here actually running this through with you, teaching you exactly how to do this. So I definitely recommend if you're interested in marketing, that you come online marketing, that you come and see Kimber's class. She's an absolute expert at doing this. And she has some really cool tools. Even if you're not going to run a paid ad, I have no problem with that. I'm an SOI guy. However, she has some really cool things that she's going to talk about on the back end, such as ManyChat. So getting your Instagram to actually start working for you to collect the information, do some, I don't know, AI DM stuff. I can't believe I'm using these acronyms, you know. Holy cow. Have you seen my fit today?
So
anyhow, did you have a question, Stephen Hansen? Concession. I believe that would be dependent both upon the loan type, because there are also some loans where they won't allow that much in seller concessions if they're using like a Utah housing product, right? So USD, I don't know. So any of these scenarios, like I said, working with a lender that you trust to walk through those different scenarios to make sure that you know how we can benefit these guys. But some of them will allow you to buy down even that much more. But what I've learned about interest rates buy downs is that they have this sort of hockey stick curve where the more you buy it down, the more expensive each of these points cost. So usually the first 1% is going to fall in line with what I shared with you. So if you're going to take the rate from 6 3/4 to 5 3/4, that step down buy down is going to hold true all the way up to that first percent. But after that first percent, it starts getting very expensive to buy down those loans. So, okay, another question from Barb, and then it shouldn't be a Q&A. This is just mostly market stats. But yeah, grab you. We're not dealing with that. We're just dealing with an affordable.
The client, right?
I'm just to a client, I'm saying, here's the deal. You can save $83,000 over the life of the loan, and you can get in this thing for 5.5% less monthly by paying the 550 and getting the 2.5 versus trying to get the seller to just give us a 2.5 off the price. And likewise, the reverse of that is before I took price reduction from a seller, I would explain that maybe we could offer something like this in the MLS remarks with a full price offer rather than doing an adjustment.
As a marketing tool.
Yes. All right. That's all I got, guys.
The fit check. You're gonna go on our Instagram. New SEO too. Let me get out of that. Wow. Look at that knee pop. I love it. Okay, so I want to talk about identity and brand identity, because your identity can either be your superpower or it could be your ceiling. So if you're feeling stuck or uninspired or disconnected from your business, it's not always because you're doing the wrong things. It's not always the lead gen. Sometimes it's because you're still being the wrong version of you. There's a subtle shift that happens once you hit a certain level of production where you stop reinventing and you start maintaining, and that's where growth flatlines. But you will never out-earn or out-impact the limits of the identity that you're operating from. You know, psychologists have even shown that the brain's default is to favor the familiar and not the optimal, and that's called cognitive entrenchment. And it's why top producers often say, I know what I should be doing, but I just can't change it. You're not lazy. You're just rooted in a version of yourself that no longer serves where you're going. So a lot of y'all are operating within your brand from 2020. Some of you might be in your brand of 2009, you know, like it's 2025. So we got to keep on reinventing our brand. 77% of consumers buy from brands that align with their values. 88% say that authenticity is a key factor in deciding what brands or professionals they trust. 64% switched brands in the last 12 months because of disconnects in tone, experience, or identity. 61% of customers will pay more for a brand experience that feels authentic and aligned. Yet only 1 in 5 real estate agents regularly reevaluate their brand mission or messaging. So kind of going what Dave had said and then going into what Kimber is doing with our social media, we really want to make sure that our message and our brand identity is clear. So ask yourself, do you have a clear written mission statement for your business? I will say through my coaching with a lot of y'all, no mission statements were invented. Do you have core values? And do your clients feel them in every single interaction that you have with them? If someone asks you, what's your brand about? Would you have a clear, compelling answer right away? Would your last 5 posts or client interactions prove it? Do they speak your mission statement? Do they speak your values? And does your current brand reflect the level of client that you're chasing or the ones you've already outgrown? So if you're looking to raise your price point, if you're looking to get to a new level of clientele, what is your brand speaking? What is your brand conveying about you? Are you attracting that type of clientele? So our producers that have been in this for a minute, do a full brand audit. ChatGPT can help you with that as well. Have them look at every single piece of your website, of your Instagram, your marketing, and say, hey, I want you to audit my brand. This is my ideal clientele. This is my target audience that I'm going after today. Audit this and tell me what I need to change. Ask 3 trusted people to describe your brand in 3 words. If it doesn't match what you want to project, change it and reconnect with your why. What legacy are you building beyond the volume? Our agents that have been in here for a minute, but not super long, stop trying to be for everyone. Specialists get paid more than generalists because clarity builds trust. So stop trying to be everything to everyone and serve every single type of clientele. Really focus in on a niche. When I started in real estate, I wanted to do luxury, and that was my thing. I would not go after clients that weren't luxury, and I was able to earn into the luxury division within 6 months just because I specialized and I made it my focus and my niche. Same thing with like hosting open houses. If you want to get to that clientele, I've talked to a lot of people about this recently. Don't host an open house that's for 300,000. That's not getting to where you want. Even if you have a listing that is 300,000, obviously do what you want to do for your client and do what your client expects of you. Have those conversations up front. But also you can go and host another open house as well. There are lots of days in a week for you to go provide an experience and a luxury experience at a luxury open house if you're wanting to get into that next level. New agents, you don't need experience, you need clarity, because people follow certainty. So define your brand this way. It doesn't need to be super complicated. So I help blank with blank because I believe blank. It will evolve, but it gives you direction now. So who do you help? With what do you help them? And what do you believe? Why do you help them? Your brand isn't your logo. It's not your colors or your fonts. Although I did take a font pairing class, and I think that did help us. But it's the emotional contract that you create when someone interacts with you online or in person. They want to connect with your brand. It's how they describe you when you're not in the room. And it's how they feel when they see your name pop up. Are people seeing your name pop up and thinking, oh my gosh, they're my go-to real estate agent, they're my go-to person for everything in Salt Lake City? I'm not, but not in Salt Lake at least. But it's how it's your energy and it's your content and the service that don't make people feel something, they'll forget you. Like if your content doesn't resonate with someone, you will be irrelevant. So stay relevant and stay with the people that you want to attract. And sometimes you'll get rid of some people because you're not in alignment anymore. And you have to be able to say no to those clients as well. Or, you know, if it's not serving you, if it's not serving your time and your energy, refer them to another person who is after that clientele. Because then you're still servicing that client in a way and putting them in a position to work with another trusted professional while you can still chase the people that you want to align with and attract. So this week, try and rewrite or revisit your mission statement. Define your top 3 brand values and think of the brands that you love as well. Think of, you know, I'm a little hippie, but I also love Louis Vuitton. And so every time I walk into that store, I am just like obsessed with everything. I'm obsessed with the service. It's so amazing. And I want to recreate that within our brand. Same thing with Ritz-Carlton. Think of the brands that you love and respect and admire. It could be Chick-fil-A. I love that they say my pleasure, you know, but reinvent that and put that into your brand as well. And ask someone that's close to you. If you didn't know me and only saw my last 5 posts or touch points and send them your email blast and everything, what would you assume that I stand for? And get their honest feedback and tell them not to hold back. And then ask yourself, does that match who I'm becoming? Not who you are right now, not who you were a month ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Does it match who I'm becoming? And if not, you know what to do. Your brand is not a brochure, it's a promise. So make sure that you are fulfilling your promise to your people. Cool. All right. And with that, we have our awards. Also, I can help with anyone's mission statements. They're my favorite. Let's have a dance party.
We gon' celebrate your body. Come on now. Let's all celebrate and have a good time.
$1 million month, y'all.
Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world. Come on! celebration. Celebration. There's a party going on right here. A celebration to last all the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your body with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate. Happy birthday to that baby.
Agent of the month.
We gon' celebrate. Have a good time to go.
All right, so y'all, we have Lee Stern, our agent of the month, and something new that we're doing. So Lee, if y'all were here last week and she won the summer decorating contest, she got ad spend. Our agent of the month is also getting ad spend. So your ad spend just doubled. So make sure you go to all the classes this week so that you can utilize it. But congrats, Lee. All right. Woo-hoo. All right, y'all, and wants and needs coming soon. Buyer needs.
We have a really cute little 4-bedroom, 2-bath house up in North Ogden. Great neighborhood, really beautiful. That dropping price this week to $399. 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, cute neighborhood. Views of the mountains, super gorgeous. $399, and we would love to have it held open this Saturday if anyone wants to hold that open. So let me know.
AA wrong.
We're doing a price drop on the Rose Park house, down to $485, and another open house this weekend on that. And there is a duplex that goes live next week. This is about 700 square feet per unit, side by side, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, gated off front and backyard, and that one is going to go up for $490.
I like that.
Is in West Valley.
Aaron, how long have you been licensed?
I don't know, like 2 months and a half, maybe. Or
Yeah,
3.
that is amazing. Any other wants and needs? All right. Well, I want all of you to have a great day. And we have Pillar to Post that brought us lunch. So they're going to grab the mic. Oh, Anthony, I'm so sorry. I got
Yeah,
excited.
Just one more want. I want to buy a cabin. I'm looking for a little one on a river, close to Immigration Canyon would be beautiful. So if your clients want to sell their second home, or you guys hear any rumblings, I'd love to talk to you about it. Probably under the 500, 400 would be great. I don't have a family, so I don't need 4 bedrooms.
All right. Floor is yours.
Hello, my name is Kelsey McAllister. I'm with Pillar to Post Larson team. We love being in this office. I'm glad we were able to make lunch happen for you guys today. Just a couple of quick things that I want to talk about. First, we have a new team member. Her name is Olivia. She's here with me today. She's going to be the other half of my marketing team. So if you see her around, it's because I need more help than I can handle with just me, which is great for us, right? We're growing. We love to see that. The other great thing for you guys, as part of some of the cool growth we've had recently, is our PTP homepage. So as our agents, whenever you kind of log into our main page, you'll see all of the inspections we've done for you in one place. And within that one tab, you'll also see all of your added services reports. Have all been localized and centralized and much easier to navigate instead of having to search for like 3 emails because you're looking for the inspection report and that added service and that added service report, right? So it's really neat and really handy for our agents. It's something we're really excited to have rolled out. If you guys have any questions or need any scheduling needs, let us know. We've got 5 full-time inspectors, so we're doing our best to be easy to schedule with. And I know that it's kind of a weird season right now where we're seeing due diligences of all different lengths and sizes and whatnot. So happy to help however we can.